don't regret mocking Nicki Minaj at the Grammys, and I absolutely will not apologize to her. That night, we were celebrating the grand event of music at the crypto arena, while she was busy acting like a tail-wagging lapdog, clinging to the president's leg just to get that filthy yellow card, proudly thinking she was so clever. In reality, everyone else saw her as nothing more than a complete clown. I was simply using humor to point out a truth that everyone could see. I have never bowed my head for speaking the truth, so I will not apologize to her. She tried to retaliate online by fabricating cult-like blood ritual lies about me, but I only found it laughable. When she accused Jay-Z, she used the exact same approach. She thought she could smear me with this tactic to change the narrative, but I'm not a fool. I've seen too many storms. I've hosted the Grammys 6 times, witnessed countless superstars and controversies, and I never fear her, nor will I be intimidated by such absurd accusations.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Verse or Belly Dirt Stranad. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I'm gonna be your today's host, and I have so many statistics to put up here, and we are gonna come out to talk about it. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
Is it really still an insult to call someone gay? If someone called me gay, I'd be like, yeah, good, no shit. If someone calls someone gay who's not gay, who gives a fuck? What are you actually saying? How does that hurt? I think the only people that would be pissed off at being called gay is someone who's gay, but trying their absolute hardest to hide that. If it's used as an insult, or is it more of an accusation? If you accuse me of something that I'm not, it don't bother me. If you accuse me of something that I haven't done, who cares? If you accuse somebody of something they are or they might be doing, they're gonna get a little antsy.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby.
Nicki Minaj tried to insult Trevor Noah by implying that he's gay, and I don't think she realizes that it's 2026, it's not 2006. Being gay is not an insult, and it's strange because she has fans who are members of the LGBTQ plus community. Why are you alienating your fans? You can clap back in other ways, fam, but why out someone? Because let's say Trevor is gay. Why out him like that? Maybe he was waiting for the right moment or whatever. Do I personally think Trevor's gay? No. At best, he's probably bi, but it's his business, okay? Why come out with that? That's what rappers used to say about each other in the 90s, you know? I mean, even now with Kendrick and Drake's whole beef, none of them were ever implying such because they realized it's not an insult anymore. Kendrick was like, nah, Drake is a PDF. Like, that's a real insult.
And the VMA goes to, who y'all think it is? Ay, Dios mío. Cálmate, por favor.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby.
Trevor Noah has responded to Nicki Minaj saying he needs to come out after his Grammys joke about her. Nicki addressed the situation shortly after the show ended, and Trevor roasted her. She chose to respond directly online rather than ignore what was said. Nicki shared a post that made it clear she was unhappy with the comment he made about her. Her message suggested she felt the joke crossed the line and was not harmless fun. Nicki did not mention the show itself, but focused on calling out Trevor directly and suggested that he prefers guys. She also added the word allegedly at the end of her message, but that was just her way of covering her back. And Nicki has not followed up with any further explanation since then. She has not expanded on her post or clarified what she meant. The moment was added to the list of viral Grammys reactions this year, and things definitely got a little too personal at times. During all this, Trevor has spoken out about Nicki's claims. Underneath a post about it, Trevor left a comment. In his comment, he wrote, "Someone needs to call a nurse." He is choosing humor instead of backing down or explaining himself, which is probably the wisest way to approach this. But either way, he's definitely in a feud with Nicki now. But before you go, I want to know, do you think Trevor should have responded differently?
And Trevor Noah got everybody in a tizzy after the Grammys, okay? If y'all have not seen the Grammys or y'all have not seen clips from the Grammys, Trevor Noah made a few jokes, as a host does, okay? He made a joke basically saying everybody was there at the Grammys except for Nicki Minaj because allegedly she's still at the White House talking to Trump over very important matters, as you know, as they seem to do. And as you know, Nicki Minaj caught wind of this, and then she went on her Twitter rant, as she likes to do, for 40 days and 40 nights about things that it went from talking about Trevor Noah, then it went to Jay-Z, and then it went to Lizzo for some reason, and then it went to Chrissy Teigen. I don't know. I don't know if she was just talking about the people that were in frame when Trevor Noah did the joke or what, but it just wasn't making. I don't know. And Trump, he comes out because Trevor Noah made another joke basically saying, oh, Trump is worried about Greenland, talking about insinuating stuff about Epstein Island, Greenland, Bill Clinton, things like that. And Trump said he has threatened, allegedly, to sue, he called him talentless loser, Trevor Noah, for insinuating that. Trevor Noah said, hey, this is my last year at the Grammys, so what are you going to do about it? I'm going to say what I got to say. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I really do think that, I don't know. I don't really know what to think. I don't know why these people are on these rants and things like that on Twitter. I don't know. But yeah, that's what happened after the Grammys, y'all.
I prefer men. So what? It feels like you're just looking for someone to blame, to ease your anxiety. Nicki Minaj, the White House isn't going to give you what you want anyway.
Trevor Noah has responded to Nicki Minaj, saying he needs to come out after his Grammys joke about her.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby.
Nicki addressed the situation shortly after the show ended, and Trevor roasted her. She chose to respond directly online rather than ignore what was said. She felt the joke crossed the line and was not harmless fun. Nicki did not mention the show itself, but focused on calling out Trevor directly and suggested that he prefers guys. But that was just her way of covering her back. And Nicki has not followed up with any further explanation since then. She has not expanded on her post or clarified what she meant. During all this, Trevor has spoken out about Nicki's claims. He is choosing humor instead of backing down or explaining himself, which is probably the wisest way to approach this. Do you think Trevor should have responded differently?
Nicki Minaj is more searched than the Grammy. Ricky Gervais says they should have listened. This is what he said a few years ago while he was hosting an award show. If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech. You are in no position to lecture the public about anything. It's like they keep forgetting that Trump won the popular vote. And then Colin Wright correctly points out the big hypocrisy within the speech that Billie Eilish gave at the Grammys last night. He says, you cannot simultaneously believe that 1, all borders are fake and should not be policed, and that 2, land can be stolen. This is something completely obvious that most of us can see very clear. again, it's like they keep forgetting that Donald Trump did, in fact, win the popular vote. Every time they do this, they turn off about 50% of their audience because what they are failing to realize is what I just said, but also this is one of the true unifiers. Even people on the right aren't realizing this right now, but one of the actual unifiers is just how the industry is not the cool kids anymore. They're not the cool kids anymore, and a lot of people are seeing it except for them.
Okay, if Trevor Noah is gay, what now?
So,
No, I'm saying
what now?
You guys want him to like die or something? Like, what is it? What's the eatery part? What's the gag? Because he's gay, so now what? What do we do with that now? Are we supposed to treat him differently? Are we supposed to oppress him? Is he like, I don't understand, what's the eatery? He's a liberal man. What the fuck else? I need to understand.
I might not agree with the way how Nicki Minaj is going about her political views and whatever she's spewing on the internet right now at the moment. But the Grammys and Trevor Noah, that joke was not funny. It's not funny. And the way how the whole entire crowd sat there laughing from their gut, nah, that's not cool. Because specifically to the Grammys, they're always snubbing her. They're always snubbing her. At this time right now, Nicki Minaj should have like, I don't even know, 5 Grammys under her belt, but she does not. They snub her all the time. And to make a joke about her on your platform when you sit over there and y'all don't even like her, crazy. And on top of that, to the people who were laughing, some of y'all probably even voted for Trump or are MAGA aligned. So y'all sitting over there laughing, but you agree with her. You're just jumping on the bandwagon because you see everybody else is hating her and calling her crazy and calling her out. But y'all sitting over there, y'all agree with what that woman is saying. So stop sitting over there and laughing. Some of y'all are even in the files themselves, or you're around people in the industry who are in the files. So why are you laughing? I don't understand. I don't get the joke. And Trevor Noah, be careful.
So Trevor Noah makes a joke about you, and your immediate response is, "Oh, let me start attacking Jay-Z." Like y'all don't think that's like some type of obsession that everything to her reverts back to Jay-Z? And we have yet to see any proof about anything she has said as far as Jay-Z owing her or why she's supposedly mad at Jay-Z yet. Dwayne still ain't go to court yet. We still at the court of public opinions instead of the court. Anyway, if you didn't know, yesterday was the Grammys, and at the Grammys, Trevor Noah, who was the host, made a joke and basically was saying how, oh, Nicki Minaj is not here. She's still at the White House. And that hurt her feelings. I think her feelings were more hurt that everybody was happy that she wasn't there. Like in a room full of celebrities, everybody cheered at the fact that you were not there. It's definitely given you were hating from outside the club. Like you were mad that you were not there. And that's okay, it happens. So I guess the one she got wind of, then she went wind of this. She went on X Twitter, where I first seen this over at Daily Hip Hop Tea. Y'all go follow him. She was saying stuff like Jay was, sacrificing babies, and the Grammys was a ritual. And the crazy part is, weeks ago, it was alleged that wee she been sucking on lately literally offed a baby and threw him in the Minnesota, one of them rivers. You know what I'm saying? So if this was true, she don't care. It's just because it's Jay-Z. Then she also was talking about how Jay was messing with Aaliyah and I think Foxy when they were underage, which Foxy has come out herself and said that's not true. So you steady running with a narrative that you know is not true. And because them roaches that follow you, they're gonna believe it. Like the same way Red had White Riding follows that man blindlessly, they follow you blindlessly. So you know what you're doing. Then she also attacked Lizzo, which Lizzo didn't even say nothing bad about her. Lizzo was just saying, y'all know, she called Lizzo a flop. Okay, everybody a flop to somebody. She a flop compared to Adele and Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift. So of course it didn't stop there. She went on some homophobic rants. She tried to call Trevor Noah gay. She said that everybody knows Chrissy Teigen was born with a penis, which what? Like, what are you talking about? I'm going to die on the hill that I think that woman is miserable at home and that's why she's acting the way she's acting. I think it stems from jealousy. And then you know what was funny? You know, y'all saying she was doing all that for the citizenship and she got that gold card, and it comes out that they didn't even give her. It was basically a souvenir. So, womp womp.
So Trevor Noah got everybody in a tizzy after the Grammys, and honestly, this whole situation says way more about celebrity culture, internet outrage, and ego than it does about one joke on an award show. Because let's be very clear from the jump. Trevor Noah did what hosts have done at award shows since the beginning of the time. He made jokes, light jokes, industry jokes, everybody's here except so and so jokes. That is literally part of the hosting job description. This wasn't some targeted expose, this wasn't investigative journalism, this wasn't even deep shade. It was a throwaway line meant to get a laugh and keep the show moving. And the joke itself, saying Nicki Minaj was allegedly at the White House talking to Trump about very important matters, that is not an accusation, that is not defamatory, that is satire. It plays on Nicki's very public past interaction with political figures and her tendency to involve herself in conversations that spiral online. Trevor wasn't investing in new narrative, he was stifling on an existing public personnel. But that joke touched a nerve, and once that nerve got touched, all hell broke loose. Because instead of brushing it off, laughing it off, or ignoring it, which by the way, it's usually the smartest move when you are one of the biggest artists in the world, Nicki Minaj went straight to Twitter or X or whatever we are calling it this week. And when Nicki goes to Twitter, it's never just one tweet, it's a saga. It's chapters, it's 40 days and 40 nights, it's I'm mad at you and also you for standing near him and you too for breathing in the same room. What started as a response to Trevor Noah somehow expanded into shots at Jay-Z, Lizzo, Chris Jen, and a few other people who seems to just be present. No clear through line, no clear argument, just vibes, emotions, and grievances flying in all directions. And this is where things start to get uncomfortable because Nicki didn't just say, hey, that joke wasn't cool, or I didn't appreciate being used as a punchline. Instead, she went personal. She suggested things about Trevor's sexuality. She threw in the word allegedly, like that magically makes everything okay. And let's be honest, we all know what that tactics is. It's the internet version of I'm just asking questions or don't sue me. It doesn't change the intent. At that point, the situation stopped being about comedy or award shows and turned into something else entirely. It became personal, and when it gets personal, public opinion shifts fast. Because here's the thing, a lot of people are tired of that move. You offended me, so now I get to insult who you are move. Especially when it comes to sexuality, especially when it comes to weaponizing institution as a clapback. It doesn't land the way it used to. If anything, it makes the person doing it look rattled. Now, why all this is happening? Trevor Noah doesn't go on a rant. He doesn't make a thread. He doesn't explain the jokes. He doesn't apologize. He leaves a comment under a post that says someone needs to call a nurse. And that one sentence tells you everything about how he's approaching this. He's choosing hormone over defensiveness. He's choosing detachment over escalation. And honestly, that is probably the most effective response possible in this situation. Because once you explain a joke, you have already lost. Once you apologize for a joke, that wasn't malicious. You opened the door for everyone to decide what comedians are allowed to say. Trevor understands that. He also understands that engaging emotionally would only feed the fire. Now let's talk about Trump entering the chat because of course he did. Trevor made another joke during the Grammys referencing Trump, Greenland, Epstein Island, and the way certain powerful figures seems to get very defensive about certain topics. Again, satire, public, political comedy, Trevor nuance literally brand. Trump responds by allegedly threatening to sue, calling Trevor a talentless loser, which is honestly kind of ironic because Trevor is hosting the Grammys, one of the biggest stages in entertainment, while Trump is range posting about comedians. But that is a whole separate conversation. What is interesting is that Trevor responds to that too by basically saying, "This is my last year hosting, so what are you gonna do about it?" That is confidence. That is someone who knows their position and isn't scared of noise. So now you have got Nicki Minaj angry, Trump angry, Twitter on fire, and Trevor Noah just not bugging. And this is where I think we need to zoom out, because why is this happening every single time a joke lands wrong on the internet? Why does everything have to become a fluid? Why does everything have to turn into sides and stands and think pieces? Part of it is ego. Let's be real, celebrities are not immune to insecurity. In fact, sometimes they are more sensitive because the image is their brand. Nicki Minaj has spent years fighting for respect in an industry that constantly undermines women, especially black women in hip hop. That context matters, so when she feels mocked or dismissed, she already coming into the situation with a history of feeling targeted. But context doesn't excuse behavior. You can acknowledge the pressure she's under and still say this response was too much. Two things can be true at the same time. Another part of it is social media addiction. Twitter rewards outrage, it rewards impulsive reactions, it rewards dragging things out instead of letting them die. Every tweet becomes content, every clapback becomes a headline, and when you are someone with millions of followers, it's very easy to forget that not every thought needs to be shared. And let's talk about the fans for a second, because they play a huge role here. Stand culture pours gasoline on everything. Instead of de-escalating, fans picks teams, they rewrite narratives, they exaggerate harm. Suddenly a joke becomes an attack. Suddenly criticism becomes hatred, and if you don't defend your favorite ferv loudly enough, you are considered a traitor. That environment makes it almost impossible for celebrities to take a step back without feeling they are losers. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Ignoring something is not losing, sometimes it's winning. Trevor Noah understands that. That is why his response is minimum. That is why he didn't spiral. That is why he didn't address every accusations. He knows the news cycle will move on. He knows tomorrow there will be another outrage. Nicki, on the other hand, seems stuck in reaction mode, and that is not new. This isn't the first time a small comment turned into a massive rant, which is why some people are starting to side-eye the pattern, not just the incident. Now, does that mean Trevor Noah is above criticism? No, absolutely not. If Nicki felt offended, she has every right to feel that way. Comedy doesn't exist in a vacuum. Jokes can land differently depending on power dynamics, history, and audience. But there is a difference between saying I didn't like the joke and launching personal attacks. And that difference matters, because once you cross that line, the conversation stops being about accountability and start being about impulsive control. So should Trevor Noah have responded differently? Honestly, I don't think so. If he had apologized, he would have validated the idea that the joke was harmful in a way it really wasn't. If he had explained himself, it would have dragged the situation out. If he had clapped back harder, it would have escalated into something uglier. But keeping it short and humorous, he kept control of the narrative. He didn't let himself be dragged into an emotional back and forth. And today's internet climate, that is real. At the same time, I do think this situation highlights something deeper. The tension between comedians and celebrities in the age of social media, when jokes live forever in clips, when reactions are instant, and when audiences are hyper polarized, the margin for error feels smaller than ever. But if we start treating every joke as a personal attack, we lose something important. We lose the ability to laugh at ourselves. We lose satire. We lose commentary that pokes at power and ego. And let's not ignore the irony here. The Grammys are an award show built on spectacle, shared, and moments. People tune in for these viral beats. They want the jokes, they want the memes, but the second someone doesn't like being on the receiving end, it becomes a crisis. You can't have it both ways. At the end of the day, this wasn't a scandal, it was a take it down. It was a joke, followed by a overreaction, amplified by social media, and stretched into a fluid because outrage travels faster than nuisance. And by next week, most people will have moved on. But the patterns remains, the circle remains, jokes, outrage, rants, response, silence, repeat. And until celebrities and fans learn when to log off, we are going to keep seeing the same thing play out over and over again. That is really what happened after the Grammys.
And if you watch up to this extent, don't forget to please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So lovelies, why not just share your thought? Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.